sense of this race and why three candidates in this debate, including a Libertarian candidate?
Well, you have the Democrat is Alex Sink, who is a very high-profile Democrat in Florida. She ran and narrowly lost the 2010 race for governor. The Republican is something of a political newcomer, David Jolly, former aide to the late Congressman Bill Young. And the Libertarian is a fellow named Lucas Overby. He's obviously a long shot, and the reason he's in is because he's been at some forums. He seemed like a credible candidate. There weren't a lot of reasons to exclude him. There was no polling, or no reliable polling that suggested he was, in getting up 1 or 2 points or something. So we just figured, it's not appropriate to exclude somebody if they're not raising enough money. So we'll see. He's going to be a wild card.
It is a 1-hour debate co-sponsored by Bay News 9, the Tampa Bay Times, and St. Petersburg College. Give us a sense of the political geography of this district in this part of Florida.
Well, this is on the Gulf Coast, all in Pinellas County, a lot of beach areas. So this is an area where anybody who supports expanded offshore drilling is not going to be especially well received. It's actually Pinellas County is kind of the birthplace of republicanism in Florida, but it's always been sort of a moderate brand of Republican. And this is truly it's clearly the most competitive district in Florida, and really one of the few truly competitive districts in the country.
Which is my next question. Why is this race getting so much national attention?
I think a lot of people will view this as a bellwether and a sign of what's to come in November with the midterms. And if David Jolly wins, the Republicans will be crowing that this is proof that Barack Obama is an albatross for Democrats, and Obamacare is a mess. And the Democrats, if Alex Sink wins, will say, look, Barack Obama is a lot more popular than people realize, and that the Affordable Care Act is not nearly as much of a liability as Republicans suggest.
Adam Smith, are you seeing a lot of outside money spent on this race?
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I was watching one of the networks this morning, and it was pretty much every other ad, every third ad, all negative. The Democrats, Crossroads, GPS, the Carl Rove Group, a lot of outside money.
Give us a sense of the two leading candidates. First, David Jolly, you gave a little bit of background, but what does he bring to this race, and how much support does he have?
It's interesting. I think it was an assumption because there was a really big-name Democrat, Alex Sink, got in, and a much less-known first-time candidate, David Jolly. There was an assumption that Alex Sink was going to be the clear runaway favorite, but by all accounts, it really is a dead heat race. And, this really does have the national climate is very much in play here. Alex Sink got in the race at a time when the government shutdown was in the news, and a lot of people were suggesting the Republicans were going to have a tough time. And then a few weeks later, the difficult Obamacare rollout came, and that has not helped her.
She ran for governor. Does she have a strong base of support in this part of Florida, and also an organization left over from her previous campaign?
She's actually from the neighboring county, Hillsborough County, where Tampa is, and they're really part of the same area. But David Jolly, I'm sure tonight, will be suggesting she's a carpetbagger. She's moved into Pinellas County. She's renting a place in Pinellas County. But she's certainly well known. She was a banking executive. She did a fair amount of work in Pinellas County. But it is true she does not have deep roots here.
As one of the moderators for this evening's debate, what should the C-SPAN audience be looking for? What are you looking for?
This is really, it does look like it's a dead heat race, and this is the first time a lot of people are going to have an opportunity to see these people. So I think, really, Lucas Overby is very unpredictable. It's not clear whether he takes votes away from the Republicans because he's very much anti-Obamacare and small government, or if he takes away from Alex Sink because he's a big proponent of gay rights and legalized marijuana, which arguably are sort of pro-democratic issues. But I think Alex Sink was not a terrific debater when she was up against Rick Scott for governor, and David Jolly is new to this, but he's pretty polished. So it really is an introduction, especially for David Jolly.
And finally, just how expensive will this race be?
That's the thing. We're looking at more than $4 million spent in one congressional district, and when you have these outside groups, you never know whether one day suddenly somebody's going to plunk down $1 million, and they're not really able to coordinate with the campaign. So I wouldn't at all be surprised if we don't see double that amount of money by the end of this race.
Adam Smith is the political editor for the Tampa Bay Times, joining us from the campus of St. Petersburg College, site of this evening's debate. Thanks very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now we're going live to Seminole, Florida, just outside of Tampa, to hear that debate we've been hearing about between Republican David Jolly and Democrat Alex Sink. They're vying for a congressional seat in a special election next month, and the winner will fill the seat of the late Republican Bill Young, who passed away in October.